The Origin of the Milky Way by Jacopo Tintoretto in the National Gallery of London Museum, currently not on display, created in 1575. Oil on canvas, in the style of mannerism. Tintoretto wanted to show the celestial power that was taken into creating the Milky Way, representing different myths and stories within this singular painting. The painting was created in northern Italy during the Mannerist and late Renaissance eras, in which Venetian art was being moved on from, and art was moving towards the Mannerist approach. Art was also gaining a focus on science and astronomy. Similar styles to Jacopo Tintoretto's Origin of the Milky Way can be seen in Titian's Venus of Urbino, in which the classical styles of the figures of the feminine bodies in both of the paintings are very similar in the classical style, and similarities of Origin of the Milky Way can also be seen in Tintoretto's own version of the Last Supper, in which the similarities are none to few. But we can see the contrast of Tintoretto's Last Supper with the dark use of color, light, and shading within, in contrast to the color, light, and shading in the Origin of the Milky Way. The original canvas of the painting was much larger and included details of lilies and other types of plants at the bottom of the canvas. If you look at the bottom left of the canvas at the Putti/Cupid figure, you can see that he is somewhat cut off, and this is where the extra part of the painting would have been. The painting describes a story about the god Jupiter, his son Hercules, and his attempts to get his son Hercules to become immortal by drinking milk out of his wife and goddess Juno. Hercules was born to a human mortal woman outside of Juno and Jupiter's marriage. Because Hercules was the son of a mortal human, that meant that at some point he would die. Jupiter takes Hercules and holds him to Juno's breast and attempts to get him to suckle some milk to become immortal. Juno becomes abruptly aware that there is a child that is not her own suckling at her breast. You can see milk sprays come from her breast, shoot down below and above into the painting. From the milk of her breast, we see gold stars arise, hence the name, the Origin of the Milky Way, the stars coming from the milk of the woman's breast. Formal elements of style are based on the northern Italian style of mannerism. Like many other Mannerist-style paintings, the painting is lavish and uses rich colors and multiple mythical figures. The elongation and odd foreshortening of the individuals within the painting let us see their twisted classical bodies. The colors are bold and beautiful. They consist of darker, subtle colors, with the use of gold depicting the stars and celestial objects in the sky. We see texture in the fabric of the drapes and the clouds that hold up Juno's bed, as well as in the fabric below Juno. The elements of light within the painting seem to be coming from various angles. The putti in the bottom right corner is illuminated, as well as Juno and Hercules themselves being the more pale figures, whereas in contrast, Jupiter himself is of a darker color, with the red and blue of his cape making him seem darker and more of a golden skin tone as well. The composition of the painting is also showed in a skewed diagonal. If you look at the bottom right of the painting, in which the putti figure and the peacocks are, following the white drapes of Juno's bed, following along her leg, following towards her head, and up to the clouds that hold her head above. With science on the rise, many people were interested in how aspects of the world worked. Tintoretto worked during this time to share a classical mythological story of many eras that discussed the origins of the Milky Way in such a way that would make it simple yet beautiful for many to grasp.